because we're talking about dreams, and you cannot talk about dreams without talking to like the dream doctor, the #1 best-selling book on Amazon, I Had the Strangest Dream, the dream therapist and fabulous, wonderful Kelly Sullivan Walden.
Thank you so much, Betsy. I feel like I need to pitch myself. Are we here? You really have to pitch yourself.
So, dreams, I've been here even before I even considered, being, quote, walking the spiritual path or all that stuff. Dreams have been like interpretation of. I remember 12 having like that dream interpretation book thing, and thinking about that. So it's certainly really in the mainstream. What is really dream therapy? What is it exactly that you do, and how do we really use dreams to create a better life for ourselves? What do we do with that piece of information?
I'm feeling tempted to say something that I would normally say behind the curtain. So this is life. So
this is
I'm
Betsy.
come on out. All right, I'm coming out, and I'm in bed with Betsy and Freeman. So really, to me, dream work by itself is interesting. It's fun. But where it's juicy and why I bother to do it and why I'm so into it is because it's really soul work. And to me, when you're paying attention to your dreams, by definition, you are connecting with your soul. You're connecting with your normal, logical ego being to your higher self, and they're connected instead of being completely separate from one another as we're walking through our lives. So that's kind of a shamanic point of view. A lot of shaman people would say if you're out of touch with your dreams, you're out of touch with your soul. And one way quickly and easily to get back in touch with your soul and the higher guidance that comes with that is to simply start paying attention and remembering a few dreams.
And I actually utilize my dreams because I can be in a not knowing state, go to my dreams for answers, which you and I have talked about off camera. Right, so that's
how do you do that? Like, what are you talking about, Freeman?
All right, so look, right now there are these themes that show up in my life of, and I say it's kind of what I'm working on, but it's what I'm working on because it's what keeps showing up for me. All right, so one of the things I'm really working on is, and this is not new or news, is how vulnerable I have felt in my life. And at one point, my sensitivity was my great challenge. I thought that was what was wrong with me, right? Especially as a guy. I wanted to be tougher. I wanted to be cooler. I didn't want to feel so much. But of course, I've shifted that. The whole reason that I've been so sensitive is in part why I landed here in bed with Betsy, but also because she likes sensitive guys.
I'm really sensitive guys.
Right.
We're called snag, sensitive new age guys.
I'm good. I'm a snag. Who knew? Hug your snag. No, but the idea that I, in my construct, the persona that I developed out of defense, even the personality I developed out of defense, kept falling apart. And every time it did, and I got a little more real and a little more human, there's this huge upside. So soliciting my dreams for answers, going to them and saying, I'm really knowing that I'm working on it, stating it, declaring it. You and I have talked about that.
I declare.
I'm really ready to reconcile with this part of me that's intuitive, that's wise, that's connected. There's life force energy, and yet I realize I've cut it off.
You are that.
And I'm not saying I'm not.
This is who you are.
Yeah.
But let me interrupt you because we can sit here and do this for hours. So what I think he's saying. He uses his dreams. How do you do that?
So
That's awesome.
There's two things. The first thing is that it's a really wonderful thing. It's a very advanced thing, but it's so easy to do. It's called dream incubation. Before you go to sleep, you think about something that you would like your dreams and your dreaming mind to help give you an answer about, to give you some solution or nudge you towards. So you can write it down in your journal, like, how can I be more comfortable in my own skin? How can I make more money? How can I attract the person that I really want to be in relationship? How can I be more healthy? Ask a specific question, and your question could be as simple as, I'd like to remember my dream tonight. But you think about the question that you've asked, kind of meditate on it, percolate on it, and let that ease you into sleep. And then just fall asleep, let yourself dream, and whatever it is you dream about that night, whatever you remember, even if it's just a little scrap of a dream that you remember in the morning, consider that it's part of the equation that's helping to answer that question.
That's beautiful.
That you asked. So that's cool.
And that's similar to how I'm working with it.
Yeah, and so you recommend having a journal like by your bed and all that stuff.
It's helpful. I actually have taken to being a little more hip in 21st century. There's an app that I use called Dreams Cloud.
Oh,
and yes, Dreams Cloud is. There's so many apps out there that are dream.
You need an app.
I do. If I had an app, it would be Dreams Cloud. So I'm working on whatever that would be.
Right.
But in the meantime, Dreams Cloud is the one that I use, and it's a free app. So it's a way to be able to record your dreams, set intentions, get reflections. It's user friendly. It's great. But the other piece of it is, one point of view about dreams is that there's a lot of shadow work that goes on in dreams. So there's who we like to see ourselves as our ego persona, strong, capable, independent, successful, got it all together. We all, in one way or another, want to be perceived as that. I want to be that. And we all have a shadow aspect of ourselves that is vulnerable or is needy or is scared or is hurt, and our dreams are helping us to embrace that shadow aspect, so it's no longer in the shadow, so we can own it. And if you've done any shadow work, like Debbie Ford's work is brilliant, where you realize that your shadow is actually, and I just got a dog named Shadow, by the way, but you realize that your shadow is where the treasure trove of jewels is. For example, one of my big shadow pieces, very similar to yours, is completely feeling so vulnerable. I remember being at a school dance, the first dance, and being asked to dance and be like having no idea how to dance and being kind of made fun of and being like, oh, I got caught being completely dorky and being inept and totally vulnerable. So but I realize if I look for what's the gift in that shadow, that's the part of me that has propelled my personal growth journey. It's because of that awkward, geeky, insecure part of myself that I've read all the books that I've read, that I've gone to school.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Thank God for those shadow pieces.
So you are going to have a new show.
Yes, I am.
You're going to have a new TV show where you're going to, what are you going to talk about this kind of stuff? Help people understand how to work with their dreams, to use their dreams to create what they need to do in their lives. What's the show?
The show is about dreams. It's going to be called I Had the Strangest Dream. It's the same as the title of my book. But in the show, we're going to talk to people like you about whatever you're dreaming about. And we're going to talk about, because dreams actually, even though they feel so personal, they're universal. When we hear one person talk about their dream, like you talked about that theme that you're grappling with, oh my God, it goes right to the heart of my heart, to the soul of my soul. And I would venture to guess that everybody, if they're open to it, feels that place where it really tugs on their own heart and soul. So when we unpack one person's dream, in one way, as Paulo Coelho says, the guy who wrote The Alchemist, who we all know and love, it connects with the soul of the world. So it's really therapeutic, it's helpful. Dreams help us not only heal the issues of our past, but also help to reveal the path for our greatest awakening in our waking lives. So this is relevant to all of us, and we'll talk about dreams, 21st century themes, healing dreams, and dreams that are really amazing in terms of things that we use every day and inventions.
Talk about that, because that's cool. I think that's really neat. So tell me one thing that was invented because of a dream that you can think of.
Okay, the first thing that comes to my mind is the sewing machine. The fact that we're all wearing clothes. Elias Howe dreamt about the needle in the sewing machine, and that was his big eureka moment, and he invented the sewing machine. So awesome. And more recently, this is somebody that I know personally, a guy who was in one of my dream groups who had a very bizarre dream about cell phone towers cropping up all over, and he was surrounded by these ugly, kind of alien-looking cell phone towers. And in his dream, he envisioned beautiful treetops covering these cell phone towers. He woke up
and invented that.
He sketched it out, patented it. He's a multi-millionaire.
I've seen them.
Wow.
There's one like on La Cienega.
Every now you're going to start noticing them as you drive around through any urban area. You see the cell phone towers. You see these kind of fake palm trees or oak tree designs. That's the guy that I know.
All right, so this is a big piece too. Being able to envision something.
Sleeping your way to success.
Sleeping your way. I love that.
Great.
Love that.
That's a program.
If I had known that I could just simply go to bed, sleep, and I would wake up a millionaire. As a matter of fact, I think we should all do that now. Okay. We're all going to go to bed. We're going to dream something magical. You guys should do it too.
Here we go.
Come on. It's 9 night, everybody.